All right, I'm going to go over top 25 units 2 and 3 review. Basically, look at the charts that are up there on the pie graph. If you look at the pie graph, you can definitely see if there's some confusion about some things. You can see who's guessing, who's not guessing again. So we'll start at number one. What is the political system that is based on free enterprise economy? Remember, right before Labor Day, we talked about capitalism. We talked about how capitalism is the idea that makes things flow. Basically, the less government involvement, the better. We talked about terms such as laissez faire. So, again, make sure that you're studying these words. I think some people just show up and think, I'm going to come in and I'm going to ace this, but you got to put some work into it on your own. Number two, what are the actions or activities one person performs for another? Remember, those are services. You pay me, I cut your grass, I do your lawn. That's a service. Haircuts, those type of things. Okay, so we're pretty straight there. An economy primarily determined by individuals and market forces with limited framework for provided by the government. Limited framework basically is going to be mixed economy, which is what we kind of have again when the president bailed out the banks in 2009, General Motors in 2009. A lot of people thought that that was wrong. Again, with limitations, there comes, the government does have the responsibility to keep economic stability. So when you're looking at economic stability, that is the role of the government to clear markets up because usually between supply and demand, surpluses and shortages, for that equilibrium, markets determine prices. Um, what is the concentration of the productive efforts of individual firms located at number of activities? Again, that's specialization. Going back to unit one. In an economy in which decisions are made primarily by market forces, market forces, definitely you see market forces, market economics, make sure 94 people got that right. And again, if you're at 16, 9, 5, sorry, you were just guessing again. A collection of institution laws and human motivations collectively providing the framework for an economy is an economic system. Hello. I mean, that's what the whole class is about, okay? Some of you, again, are just guessing. 7, physical objects such as clothes and shoes are goods. We talked about that from people having their own projects, building their own products such as Nike, talking about those goods and services. A system of production in which means are privately owned. Privately owned means free enterprise. Remember, in Russia, before Russia now, there wasn't any private business, or China, it was a command economy, which basically the government decided what people needed and wanted, which led to scarcities, shortages, and in between, okay? So make sure you look at that again. An economic system in which decisions are made by political authorities, governments, rather than influence. Remember, I give you a command, that means do something. I know some of you teenagers hate hearing that when people, what you want me to do? Anyway, the whole point is it's command economy. I need you to make 10,000 pair of black boots size 10. But what if I need a size? Well, that's okay. We don't need that. All right. And so there's really little or no choice involved in that. Economy work. Here we go. Keyword: custom and habit. Custom and habit, traditions. Custom habit, traditions. Do you see how those context clues are in there? Some of you are waffling again. Again, we talked about deer hunters, Maasai tribesmen, those type of things. A stock or money supply, staff, other assets. Let's see, is a resource. We've talked about human resources. We've talked about capital resources. Those were in your starters. We're on week 9 right now, and some of you are still just going back and forth. No, come on. What are some economic choices businesses might make to have? If you see all of the above and there's only one of them, please choose all the above. Okay. Here we go. This one's a tricky one, and I can understand that. So it says from the assignment circular flow model, which group sells factors of productions and buys goods and services? So who buys goods and services? Households. Households. Again, who's buying goods and services? People and households. So you see in the chart, definitely a trick question if you're not paying attention, but I remember saying households. From the assignment circular flow model, in which model do businesses sell goods and services? Consumers make purchases. And so when consumers make those purchases, you can definitely see that there are product markets. Okay? Product markets are definitely where you can find multiple resources, multiple things for consumers. Okay? All right, so here's another one from the assignment uh, circular flow models, which demonstrates buying factors of production and producing and selling in goods and services? The answer is that is businesses. Do you see how they get confusing if you're not paying attention? Because businesses are the one that are buying factors of production, raw materials, resources to turn them into finished goods and products to sell to households. So businesses do that. That's why that answer is correct. All right. From the circular flow, which one models household sell land, labor, capital, businesses? Rent and wages. Rent and wages, again, going to be 41%. Factor markets, again, factor markets, because that's where the factories, factory, think about the context clue, that easy. Money serves as a medium of exchange, okay, a medium of exchange. All right, we've talked about that. We did lessons on that. Let's see. Money also serves as, let's see, another medium of exchange. No, let's go up. So money also serves as a store of value. Remember, $20 has $20 of value because we give it to it. Remember, beaver pelts, deer, antlers, those type of things were valued as well. The term that applies to panic that occurs when depositors lose confidence is a bank run. I gave you all that answer, even though we didn't talk about it. But if you've ever seen a run on a bank, I'll give you an example of it when we get to the movie It's a Wonderful Life in Unit 4. A type of money that has value aside from being used as money is a commodity money. Again, whiskey for money. We talked about other instances in our economy where people have store value in that. A type of money that is backed by the word of the government. Again, we talked about that a little bit. I believe that is fiat money, definitely. With fiat money, you're looking around, you need to understand that. A banking system in which required to keep a percentage. What's another word for percentage? A fraction, fractional reserve. Think about it, not that hard. America's government controlled but privately owned by the central bank established in 1913, and we will go over this in depth in Unit 4, is the Federal Reserve. We'll talk about Janet Yellen in the coming up weeks, interest rates. Before her, Ben Bernanke, and before her, Mr. Alan Greenspan. The largest percentage of businesses, I said this, 75% of all businesses are sole proprietorships, 15% are partnerships, and 10% are corporations. However, the former businesses that control the majority of the wealth are called corporations. That's why people don't like them. So if you paid attention and kind of thought about it, again, I can see how maybe product market, factor market, were confusing. Businesses, households were confusing. I told you they would be, and some of you just kind of glossed over it. Also, if you didn't have a chance to make up your test on Monday, tough luck. Have a good one.